Hello, guys. Well. I want to preface this by saying that, as you all know, these are my opinions. The reason why I'm saying this is because I'm getting a lot of emails from people telling me that I'm not an expert. I have never claimed to be one. I'm just venting out, and these are my opinions. Obviously, I do want people to be respectful. If you want to be in my channel, or thank you for coming and subscribing, but these are my opinions only. So please be kind in the comments. I don't like it when people are nasty and they're saying nasty things. I do these videos not because I hate Meghan or Harry. That it's really not about that. It's about two members of an institution who are abusing their position and titles within that institution. And because that institution represents the Commonwealth, which Canada is part of, it is important to address it. Anytime members of an institution who get a lot of privileges because of the institution they belong to, which, by the way, the people are paying for, people should be held accountable. Anyways, let me start with this. So the reason why I criticize them, it's because I believe that, because I love the monarchy. You want an institution that you love to be respected. Titles may be inherited, but respect and trust is earned. Unfortunately, respect and trust it takes a long time to get both of those, and it takes very little to destroy it. With the royal family, there's such huge privilege, financial privilege, because everything comes down to money. Everything in this life comes down to money, and why people have power is because they're able to move money to have access to a lot of wealth, so they can do a lot of stuff. The royal family, the reason why they are so respected is because they have used that influence to actually serve charity causes. They haven't abused it. That was tradition. That was the norm before. Now the norm is to abuse those titles, to abuse their position, to start their own business using the position that the monarchy, that being part of an institution represents. And that's not right. Now, if we're going to criticize people for doing that, for abusing their titles and their positions, everybody should be criticized. This is why I criticize Sarah Ferguson. I criticize Prince Charles, because they're not respected members of the royal family. They have abused their positions for personal gains and personal reasons to advance or to remain in that position. Or Prince Andrew, for example. They're very rotten apples. And for example, if we're going to criticize Harry and Meghan Markle, rightly so, for interfering and meddling in politics, then we have to go and look at Prince Charles, who is the ultimate meddler. And abusing his position and power, he has caused people jobs. He has backed pedophiles, and to this date, he hasn't done that. He basically, life is like ripples. If you throw a stone in the water, it creates ripples. Had he been a good husband, or not married Lady Diana, probably should be married to some nice guy with, had he had the balls to say, I am going to abdicate, and I'm gonna let my brother be the king, because I know that if I want to be with Camilla, I can't be king. If he done that, then that wouldn't have been any problem, because then he would have been an honorable man. But he didn't want to do that because he wanted the title. Everybody does. Now, a lot of people have said, why the Duchess of York never remarried? The Queen issued a letters patent just for Sarah Ferguson, whereby it states that if she remarries, she loses the title. She can no longer use the Duchess of York title. This is why she's never remarried. Okay, because as much as she went on Oprah Winfrey to bitch about how terrible it was to be in the royal family, she sure as hell doesn't want to give up that title, because nobody who was ever given the option to give up the title ever does, because they know the benefits that it comes with it. They're just not willing to put the work that comes along, or the obligations that come along with that title. Now, in regards to Harry and Meghan Markle, the reason why what they did is actually, I do consider it treacherous and fraud, is because they knew from the beginning that they were not going to be working for the royal family, but they wanted to get the titles because they know that the royal family don't like to look bad, or to, or it's harder to take the title away than to get it. Now I've heard in the news, and the thing is that you don't know what to believe, that, that they're off social media and stuff like that. They're never going to be off social media. I'm sure they have ghost accounts, and they're monitoring everything. Of course they are. I mean, that's just stupid. I mean, just putting that out, I don't see the point of that, because you simply just go off the media. People will know that you're not there, when there's no point in making an announcement for that. But again, my point with Harry and Meghan Markle is that to this day, they're still benefiting from having those titles and the association to the royal family. How? Meghan Markle has been treated differently by the judge. Yes, she is. She's given, if she were a regular person, she wouldn't be getting as many breaks or as much consideration. That I can guarantee you. And I find that the judge shouldn't do that. I think that is, instead, people like Harry and Meghan Markle should be held to a harsher standards, because they're given so many opportunities to behave honorably. They have so much privilege. And yet the judge is granting extensions. He's not holding her in contempt for not producing the text messages that she was ordered to produce. He covered up for the 5 witnesses, saying that they should remain private. Why? Civil lawsuits and even criminal ones are public. Everybody who's part of it is in the public domain, unless, of course, it is a minor involved or is for terrorism and there's a greater good for it. But mostly it is related to the country's security. Whose security are they safeguarding? Nobody. And yet the judge issued a gag order, or at least a confidentiality, for the 5 witnesses. Why? Those 5 witnesses were willing to go to People magazine and give the same excerpts that Mail on Sunday printed, and yet we don't see them being sued. And another thing is, I do feel that the media, Associated Press, is a little bit complicit, because they're all in bed together. Because why haven't they actually contacted People? Why haven't they brought People's magazine as an example? I mean, People's magazine is the perfect example. It's basically, that should be the basis for making this lawsuit, irrelevant. Because I don't understand why they haven't. And my only explanation to that is because they're being complicit. Because all they have to do is say, hey, wait a minute, we were not the first ones to publish this. People's magazine were the first ones to publish it by these 5 witnesses. And, all they have to do is say, the People's magazine give them right of reply, which by law they should, before you print any article, unless you're, of course, a tabloid, which People's magazine is supposedly not a tabloid, it's a reputable magazine. They are supposed to give a right of reply, especially when the article claims to be the truth, because that's what the article said. So all the Associated Press has to do is to say, hey, wait a minute, People magazine, we were not the first ones to print it. People magazine were the first ones. Why aren't they being sued? In fact, I think they were on the cover or something like that just now. So I do find that they're still benefiting from the titles. Of course they are. They're being treated with kid gloves because, they're royal. They're still royal. They're still on that website. I go on about it, but they're still on that website. So if we're going to criticize, if we're going to criticize everybody, let's criticize Sarah, the Duchess, because right now she's published a book about her family or something about, but again, she published it and she only got that deal because she used the royal title. So if we're going to criticize Meghan Markle, rightly so, and Harry for being idiots, we should also criticize this Sarah Ferguson, Prince Andrew, because they both have used their positions for shady deals. I don't understand why they're in such financial dire straits, because they have made so much money out of Prince Andrew's position. And Prince Charles, he has made, now this guy, I mean, he managed to get Parliament to reform the Freedom of Information Act in order to keep all of his meddling secret. So government is also complicit, because instead of telling him, shut up, you're not supposed to be meddling, they covered it up and reformed the entire Freedom of Information Act. Now, guys, I've started an account in Telegram because I do not believe at all in censorship. And YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, they're all censoring. I don't know, and I know that what I heard is that Harry and Meghan Markle have gone to California, not California, to all the big tech companies to have all videos censored, because now apparently censorship is the big thing now. So they want to join forces with them so nobody can say anything negative. I am on Telegram. I will leave the link because I'm going to post this video there. It's actually quite a cool quite a cool app, because you do it's the same as WhatsApp, but it's separate at the same time, and then you can post your videos, you can follow channels. It's very good. I'm surprised, at least from what I've seen. So I'll leave it there as well. So if you can go and subscribe there for me, because I don't know if Harry and Meghan Markle managed to, from what I heard, they managed to get all these big tech people to censor things. Because apparently now that's the big thing, that people, with enough pull, if you're the lefties or whatever, they can have people's accounts censored. So just go there and go to Telegram. I'll leave the link there so you can also see it, and if you can subscribe. But please do make a comment, be respectful. There's no point in being nasty. We can all, have difference of opinions. But, I'm going to leave a link, because a lot of people have also said to me that, oh, the Duchess of York is a good mother. What does one thing have to do with another? You can, I know that Hitler was a good father, if it was ever a father. A lot of killers were good. A lot of very corrupt people are good parents. It has nothing to do with the topic that we're saying, is that she abuses. She has been caught on camera committing a crime, because what she did was a crime. It's called traffic of influence. And, that's not good. Now, Harry and Meghan have, in my opinion, they have committed a crime, because fraud is when you lie to obtain something for financial gain. That is fraud. So if they knew they were not going to be part of the royal family, then, I read in an article that Meghan says that she hates the royals. She always hated them, and that she didn't know what she was getting into. Again, people, she didn't care what the royal family was about. It doesn't matter what the royal family was about, because all she wanted to do is get a title and get the hell out of there, because she thought things would go differently. But the thing is that you may put pearls on a pig, but the pig's still pig at the very end, So yeah, there's nothing there. But if we're going to criticize, let's criticize them all at the same time, just because it's the truth. The reason why Harry and Meghan Markle are so entitled is because they have people who have been committing all of these things and worse, because they have. What I do find reprehensible from them is that they lied to get the titles. They left England and they haven't given up the titles. Now, March 31st is coming. I don't know why the Queen's still waiting, because they have broken every deal. But, this is where we are. What do you think? Do let me know.